So I've been practicing my growling. Let me see what you think. Oh. Hey guys, it's Ebony from Metal and Coffee. So this video was inspired by the fact that I'm going to see Monolord tonight. And if you haven't heard of Monolord, they are a sludgy stoner metal band from Sweden, and they also released a killer album this year called Veneer. It just made me think about how many Swedish bands I listen to, and it just happens to be a lot of Swedish bands that I listen to. So I wanted to give you my favorite Swedish metal and rock bands and turn you on to some, hopefully. So let's get started. So my first Swedish favorite is Opeth. You definitely have to be living under a rock if you don't know who that is. They've been around since 1990 and they released their first record in '95. So these guys have a long ass track record and they always put on a fantastic live show. I've actually already made a video called Why I Love Opeth, so I'm not gonna bore you too much, but I will say that they were my gateway drug into metal and just more experimental metal, because they are a mixture, currently they're a mixture of progressive rock and death metal. They've been kind of getting softer as more releases come out, but it's not a bad thing, and it opened me up into the world of metal and screams and growls, so I owe Opeth for that. And I forgot to mention that my two favorite Opeth albums are Ghost Reveries and Black Water Park. My next Swedish favorite is Witchcraft. They actually are more psychedelic rock, not quite as hard, but these guys are pretty good. So the first time I heard of Witchcraft is actually seeing them live. I used to be a lighting technician for this bar, so I just so happened to be doing lighting for their set, and I did a pretty good job with it. I made it super psychedelic and trippy along with their music, and it just made me fall in love with them. But they haven't been around too much as of recently, and personally I like their first album the best. It's just none of the other records were quite as good in my opinion, so I would recommend listening to Witchcraft self-titled album, and also the song called Witchcraft, because that's a badass song. Alright, the next Swedish favorite is Graveyard. This is another band that I saw live before getting into them. It was actually the same exact Witchcraft show. They opened for Witchcraft and they just fucking blew up. They have such a big following right now. It's kind of crazy because I saw them at an empty venue, and now they're just fucking selling out shit in America, everywhere pretty much. And rightfully so, because they are an extremely talented, psychedelic, high-octane rock band. And I've seen them about 4 times. That tells you how much I love them. I always freaking catch them when they're in the DC area or the Philadelphia area. And yeah, it was definitely like a love affair. I actually, I didn't want to be mean by admitting this, but I am going to say that anyway. I definitely like Graveyard set a lot better than Witchcraft at that show that I was referring to before. They clearly had their shit together a lot more and knew what they were going for, and it showed, and that results in their immense success today. Album recommendations: the self-titled, not that their other albums aren't good, I'm just saying that Graveyard self-titled album is insanely good. So please listen to it and let me know what you think, because no, actually don't let me know what you think, because my feelings are going to get hurt, because I love that album so much. So just listen, and if you don't like it, alright. My next Swedish favorite is Sugar. So if you've been keeping up with my videos, you know that I'm not a fan of gent. And what I really mean is I leave that genre up to one fucking band, and that's Meshuggah. So my favorite album by them is Catch 33, Autonomy Lost. It's my jam. You actually wouldn't dance to it like that. Of course I would. I'd just do freaking Harlem Shake in the middle of the mosh pit because that's what I do. But yeah, that's my favorite album, and they are sick, and I have not seen them live yet, and I hope to be able to see them live soon. So please tour now. Just come to me and play a show for me. Next Swedish favorite is Catatonia. I'm actually getting a flashback right now of my darker days where I did not only listen to Catatonia, I was listening to Anathema, Antimatter, Evergrey, Anecdoton, I think that's how you pronounce their name, Green Carnation, oh man, Blind Guardian, all that shit was, that was the shit. Catatonia is very dark, doom and gloom metal, and just overall very heavy and dense, and they create a very good atmosphere to suck you into the melancholy. But yeah, I would recommend the album The Great Cold Distance. That album was the first album that I listened to, and it remains my favorite album, although I do like pretty much their entire discography. Fun fact, they are looking for a new guitarist, I heard. So you should audition if you are into that and join this awesome band. Next Swedish favorite is Burst. And they actually, unfortunately, aren't together anymore, but they still are worth checking out. They are mostly progressive metal and post-metal, although earlier in their discography you can hear a lot more hardcore and punk influences. Their last and final album was Lazarus Bird, and all I can say is that they went out with a beautiful and a masterpiece of a bang. Like, I still listen to this album to this day, and if you would like to check something out by Burst, I would recommend that album. And then, of course, work your way back through their discography to hear their more hardcore influences. My last Swedish favorite that I would like to mention to you guys is this band called Asteroid. Now these guys are more on the line of Witchcraft and Graveyard with their psychedelic, trippy rock, and these guys are also a tease. I only say that they're a tease because they haven't really put out music in about 3 years, and they haven't really given any insight into what they're currently doing, what their game plan is. But they totally post statuses. Like, one of them was like, is anybody out there? And of course, like, 1 million people commented on it. They're like, put out more music, I need more vinyl. And and they also post like pictures of themselves and no captions whatsoever. And like, it's just weird. It's really funny. I'm like kind of intrigued by them, and of course I'm falling for this as well, and they probably find me really annoying because I post on their wall like, hey guys, where's my music? Give me my music. But yeah, I only do that because I really love their music. So my recommendation for you would have to be listening to their self-titled Asteroid, and also their split LP with Blowback. So they did a split LP with another band called Blowback, and they have some really good jams on it. And Blowback is a good band as well, though I'm not sure if they actually are from Sweden. I probably should have confirmed that before I mentioned Blowback, but yeah, check out their self-titled and also their split LP with Blowback. They're both really great. Alright, those are my favorite Swedish bands so far. So if you guys have any other bands that you'd like to mention that are also from Sweden that you guys love, you can post it in the box below. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Metal Monday, and I'll be back next Monday with a show review. So until next time.